I've been traveling to a lot of the early voting states, and they say that your focus on the past is a problem for them. What do you say to those voters?
I have no focus on the past.
That's a good question.
You have to learn from history. You have to learn from the past. We had an election that was very, very terrible. It was a terrible
That's a good
thing for
answer.
our country. And you have to learn from that. You can't forget that and just go, now, with all of the things...
All right. Hello, my name is Mr. Wise Guy. Welcome to my channel. Do not leave. We're watching the man himself, Donald Trump. And it's the full interview. But before we get into the video, like and subscribe. Comments are great too. Thank you very much. So on to the show.
Did you talk to your Republican allies on Capitol Hill and say you should support this?
No, I don't have to talk. They're more proactive than I am. They think it's terrible. I will say this, they think I was treated very unfairly. I mean, when I...
100%. And so many people have like a bias against Trump. Like literally TDS, I think. Trump derangement disorder. Or like they can't see Trump in any other way but than in a negative light. Basically is what it's funny. It's like a meme, Trump derangement disorder, but it's kind of true. Like just look at Destiny. He's an ultra logical lord, and he can agree upon things like the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing. He was super correct on. Like he can see it, but like anything that it comes to Trump, he's like completely like logic brain like gone. it doesn't exist to me. I don't understand how Mr. Logic Lord is just like all his logic goes throughout the window, or maybe he's just ultra biased against the man. He's like, nah, I can't even see him in a charitable like location, in a charitable light. That's what I should have said. But yeah,
I was impeached for a perfect phone call, and now it turned out to be perfect. I hope you will admit that at least, because I was right, 100% right. But I was...
He's not saying anything, so that's...
And how sad that is. And we had 196 to...
He's talking about the whole Ukraine thing when he was in as a president, where they impeached him. The thing that I talked about earlier in another clip, or it might be in the same clip. I don't know.
Nothing vote for Republicans. Very unusual for the Republican Party. I was so proud of them. 196, the entire House, not one person dissented. And then other than Romney, who sort of gave me half a vote, but we had 100% in the Senate. People think I was treated very unfairly.
Well, the people who
I know I was treated.
The people who voted for that impeachment say that the phone call that you referenced was about a quid pro quo.
It was perfect.
But
my phone call was perfect. My phone call was saying, please.
Yeah, the claim was like, oh, it was a quid pro quo. And then when he calls out Biden's quid pro quo, it's like, nah, that wasn't a quid pro quo at all. And then they literally did investigations, and it was ruled that what Donald Trump said was perfectly fine. But the allegations was that Donald Trump was trying to do like a quid pro quo with literally the same country that Biden said verbatim. Biden gets something out of it. The thing that he's getting out is that they're getting rid of a prosecutor that's prosecuting someone, prosecuting a company that his son is on. And I guess the reason why why he's getting something out of that is because maybe his son isn't the best person, or isn't really necessarily supposed to be in a company like that, because they don't really understand how Hunter Biden has like those types. Like he doesn't even speak the language, yet he's on the board of a really big company in a country that he doesn't even know the language. So like, yeah, that kind of smells kind of fishy. So let's not have a legitimate prosecutor to investigate that or not. Biden wanted to have a different prosecutor, someone that was more solid.
Got fired, and they put in place someone who was solid.
We could speculate all day on like what he meant by solid, but whatever.
Please investigate any crimes that you see. And by the way, I'm mandated to do that as the president of the United States. And it was really
yeah, Trump actually had the authority to be talking there and like seeing what's going on. But Mr. Vice President, it's still up in the air if he even had the authority to do that. Or maybe he did. And I'm not 100%, and I just don't know. But you gotta show me the proof first before I believe it.
Call to congratulate him on winning the election. But
Mr. President,
no, when you talk about quid pro quo, please don't talk about quid pro quo, because there was none in the call at all. Where there's
quid
pro quo was when Biden said
Yeah, that was the allegation. It wasn't true, and it was found untrue. So for her to even bring it back up again is just like, why? It's already been proven untrue. Like, the only reason to bring it up is to show that, or maybe a good, I guess, a charitable way of bringing it back up, and then being just like saying, oh, look, this thing that happened to you was unjustified and was turned out to be unjustified in the courts. So I guess it's a good thing that she's bringing it back up so people can like hear it. So Trump, don't say that. Don't say that. He's trying to be charitable here. I'm trying to really make sure that I'm looking at the game, by the way. I'm trying to really be like unbiased, because like NBC is like being super uncharitable, but so far it doesn't seem like they're doing anything too out of the realm or out of the blue. So
very strongly, we're not going to give them the $1 billion unless they get rid of the prosecutor. That's a quid pro quo.
I'm going to be leaving here, and I think it was, what, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a got fired.
Mr. President, let me take a step back here, because a lot of voters say what they want to talk about.
yeah, with no
is your vision for the
with no context, it really does sound like a quid pro quo. With context, you can argue that it sounds like a quid pro quo, but you can also, with the added context, you can also say that what he's saying is very vague and can be interpreted as not actually being a quid pro quo. So you can argue both ways because of the way that Biden said that. It was really vague, the terminology that he was using. It's like someone solid. Like, what is that supposed to mean? Or actions, what do you call it? Like, take action. Like, what is that supposed to mean? That's another thing he used.
the future.
Sure.
And I've been traveling to a lot of the early voting states, and they say that your focus on the past is a problem for them. What do you say to those voters?
I have no focus on the past. Except
That's a good question.
you have to learn from history. You have to learn from the past. We had an election that was very, very terrible. It was a terrible
That's a good
thing for our
answer.
country. And you have to learn from that. You can't forget that and just go. Now, with all of the things that we said,
That is actually like a very good answer. And the reason why that's a very good answer is that he literally played to both of those people. He played to the people that didn't want him talking about it anymore. Like, yeah, he's not focused. He's not going to be focusing on the past. But he also said in the same sentence, but you have to learn from history, which is also help settling the other people that do want to keep hearing about that type of stuff. So like he literally went like that was a perfect answer to that question. You couldn't say I don't think Donald Trump is capable of making anything any more perfect than what he just said right then and there. All right, so you made it to the end. Thanks for watching. Remember, comments are great too, and like and subscribe, but mostly comments. Comment, please. I need to know what your thoughts are. The whole part of this entire channel is thinking. Thanks. Come on now. You can do it. Down below. Just type it out. I don't care what it is. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.